Welcome one and all to my next talk through, and this is going to be the Battle of Olympus for the NES. Made in 1989, Infinity and Broader Bunch software. They're kind of obscure. This game was also released in Game Boy. And you get the option of either starting or using a password. So let's just go ahead and start. So you get the option of changing your character's names, or choosing whatever you want. So only one as mighty as Clunk can defeat the forces of evil. And thanks to Fantasy Name Generator, I decided to go with Nisha. Not sure why. But here's a map. You get to see where you get to go in this great game. And right out of the gate you're going to notice this game looks a lot like Zelda 2, and it also plays a lot like it. These two are always compared. And whether or not it's a fair comparison, well, that's completely up to you. And if you go here in Arcadia, that you do get to hear a lot of hints from people. And these hints are pretty helpful. They are kind of helpful in the sense that once you notice like what they were talking about, you'll actually remember what the hint was. Except that one was false. And I'm not gonna go through every house, just going through some of them just to show you what these hints are leaving me like. Yeah, but anyway, this is Arcadia. This is a nice green place to start. And you're your first enemy in the game. One thing that is kind of a problem is that some of these enemies are too small to hit with your weapon. So, either just jump over them or wait until they jump up. Unfortunately, it is kind of random. You can also go in the trees. Which we're gonna have to do that for certain areas. And what we need to do right now is meet up with Zeus. And, let's see, I just need to keep going to the right in order to get there. The plot of this game is that the main character's girlfriend was bitten by a poisonous snake and was drawn into a coma. And since coma and death were one and the same back in those times, she was taken to the underworld where Hades, the lord of the underworld, has captured her. So we need to go out and get her out. And we can only do that with help of the gods. Here's our first boss, and this is going to be Taurus. All he does is charge at you. Just club him 4 times. He's not that tough. And here we are at Zeus's temple. You do have to find Zeus's temple first, otherwise the other gods are just going to say, "Who are you? You have no business here." And so forth. And if you talk to him again, you get the password. And it is kind of long, it's kind of complicated. And also, zeros and O's. And also small O's. Yes, that's something everybody else loves. Also, those 2 M's are kind of shaped differently. Probably just because it's capital and small. Yeah, the password in this game is kind of annoying. But, I just need to backtrack a bit. And I do have to fight Taurus again. Now, whatever. Let's just go. And, see, what I need to do next is I need to actually go to Attica and visit Athena. Attica is going to be through this door. And for better or worse, it is kind of easy to get lost in this place. So if you don't like getting lost, this game really isn't for you. It is. I still do like this game, it's just not for everybody. I mean, it does have its flaws, and you'll be seeing them as this talk-through goes on. Here we find goat men. They jump in. They kind of skip around and occasionally jump in weird patterns. What I picked up there was just an olive. That's going to be your currency for the game. And you're going to be using this as payment to the gods for either their weapons or their abilities. Well, not really their abilities, just whatever their tools are. That green thing was a health refill. You get a kind of small health bar to start off with, but that actually does get bigger as the game goes on. And right here, this guy is just telling you about the boss in this area. But we're not going to deal with her now because we're not strong enough. So instead, I need to go to the right. And just deal with more goat men and I guess, teddy bears throwing spears. And they just run away after that. Anyway, I need to go in here and find Athena. And I actually need to go further to the right in order to find her. Those are just scorpions, and if you get too close, they charge at you. And they're also goat men that like to charge in on both sides. The thing about the goat men is you kind of want to be in the air, a short height in the air whenever you attack them, otherwise you might not hit them, and they'll hit you instead. Hey, I've already got 6 olives. I'm doing better than most countries in Europe. And see, there's more scorpions to kill. And right here, if you duck, then you can get a health refill. And we'll be seeing nectar fountains later on in the game. And right here, we are at Athena's temple. And Athena is a goddess of wisdom, and she gives you a shield. You can block projectiles, you know, standard shield stuff. And also, you do want to get passwords from the gods, just in case you do end up dying, which will happen a lot in this game. Because every time you die, you end up losing half your olives if you continue. But if you retry, you get to start off at the last god you talk to. And, unfortunately, one thing about this game is there is going to be a lot of grinding. So, let's see, I need to get up to 50 olives before I move on to the next part, which is actually going to be in Argolis. See, what I meant to say was, I'm going to try and take the most efficient route possible. And that's going to require some sequence breaking. Because the game actually wants you to fight the Lamia next, but I'm actually not going to because there's something I need to make the boss fight a lot easier. So, yeah, I'll just cut until I get to 50 olives and back to Arcadia so I can go to Argolis. So now that we're back in Arcadia, there's certain hints you can get from going into the trees. And just letting some gels walk by. This woman tells you about the way you're going to end up going about in this game. What you have to do is collect 3 symbols of love in order to make the trip into Tartarus and rescue your girlfriend. So, the first one, well, you're actually not going to encounter these in a while. But what we need to do now is go to Argolis. But it's just something to keep an eye on down the road. What I'm doing now is just walking by all these gills, and also if you are surrounded by enemies you can just go in the doors, but the enemies will respawn, so just keep that in mind. So we're here in Argolis. And one thing I did forget to mention about this game is that the music is awesome. And there's some more hints in here. I don't really think they're that important. Here you're going to want to go in the second door, or the last door. And, see, there are bats that will attack you if you end up getting too close. So what we're trying to do now is trying to find the sandals, which Hermes has. And he's willing to lend them. Those snakes only dive after you when they get close enough. You can actually manipulate them into just going until they fall into a pit. And right now, what I'm trying to do is just try and bait these bats. And ducking. And right there I just manipulated the snake and just walking into the pit. Let's see, I need to, that was close. I need to go in here. Unfortunately, Hermes is gone and summoned by Zeus. So, I actually need to go back to Arcadia to find Zeus's temple. But before I do that, I need to fall in here. And these red snakes are salamanders. You can actually get salamander skins from them. And I need to talk to this woman. And she gives you ambrosia, which not only refills your health, but gives you an increase to your max health. Now, I'm not going to try and fight these salamanders now because they're way too strong and I'm way too weak, so that is not going to end well. Instead, I am just going to go back out. And I am going to have to backtrack to Zeus's temple, so I'll just see it when I get there. Okay, now that we're back here, let's just head on over to Zeus's temple. and talk to Hermes. You do have to duck down and press B to kneel before the god. Here Hermes gives me sandals, I can jump higher. And there's also a gravity flip you can do. I'll try and demonstrate it later on. But now what I need to do is go back into Attica to kick that Lamia's ass. And only the early part has some running around back and forth, but it is actually worth it once you see the boss. Let's see, I need to make my way back to Attica here. Here you can block the spears now that you have the shield. Let's see, I just need to go down the stairs and beat up on these goats. Well, this is something you'll come across later, is Gaia. And problem is with the sandals is that killing these goats is actually a bit tougher. And what I'm trying to do now is just farm for health, because I don't want to be too banged up when I'm fighting the boss. Unfortunately, that's one thing with this game, is that you do want to be in max health as much as you can, and not keep getting myself killed by these stupid goat men. Jeez, I'm just not off to a good start here. So now that I'm back at full health, I need to mind the scorpions. This is just a hint. So I just need to take out these scorpions too while I'm at it. That's it, this is the person I needed to talk to. Actually, no, it was not. Turns out it was the person at the top, but I'm not going to talk to her. Basically, all she tells you is that her child was kidnapped by Lamia. And here we get to meet her. What she's gonna do is shoot arrows, so you just want to jump over the arrows and just club her in the head. And this is why you want to get the sandals, because without the sandals, it's actually a very difficult boss fight. But it's not that bad with the sandals. So now that we rescued the kid, let's talk to his mother. And just a short backtrack. Nothing I have to edit out or anything. Except I just have to mind these stupid scorpions. And just climbing stairs. Make sure you do jump, otherwise you end up falling through. So now that I rescued her kid, she gives me the Staff of Fennel. And we'll talk to that man pretty soon. Here's your sub-screen. You get the certain weapons you have, as well as tools you're going to get later on. And now that I have the Staff of Fennel, it's a stronger weapon than the club, obviously. And let's see, I need to talk to somebody who knows where to find somebody who can teach you how to shoot fire from it. And I'll just jump on the olive to get that one. Nope, not that one. I'm pretty sure I did find him before. Yeah, it should be this guy. So we need to find Prometheus, and he's actually locked up in Argolis, so I think that's a good place to stop for today. So join me next time as I rescue Prometheus and go further into ancient Greece. I'll see you next time.